Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. It's a brand new season, June 21st. No more sticky stuff. And a lot of good results last weekend. Let's do it. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today as we recap the weekend that was in Major League Baseball. A lot of big results. And we're super excited to talk about it. Talkin' Baseball brought to you by DraftKings. This episode brought to you by Kevin Kellena, Bo Brown, great name, Michael Dudor, Jake Pelton, Brendan O'Connor, Anvis Chinaski, Kyle Watson, Eric Schmeld, Brian Sykes, Billy, Travis Tate, Joey Rodriguez, and Jay Rodriguez, and Joey Felice. Those are our most recent patrons. Jake and I are actually doing our monthly Patreon Q&A. Getting our Kevin Mather on, giving away all the secrets of the trade to the Patreons tonight. So exciting times. My name's Jimmy. Jake's sitting next to me. Trevor's in California. Producer BBD behind the desk. Trev, how are you doing? How was your weekend?
What's up, guys? So excited to be talking some baseball with you today. As Jake said pre-show, the baseball is the story today, Jim. It is the story. But I had a great weekend. Little Father's Day action, barbecued some meats over a open fire, which is a very manly thing to do. And we just enjoyed ourselves, man. It was around the family a lot, but I had a good one. Watched some baseball. Like you said, there was some good baseball. But how about you guys? How was the weekend?
Jake?
The weekend was good. I am a bit of an internet sensation again. The shot heard around the world. People are talking about it with the Flip Cup tournament.
Oh, my God.
It's not a big deal for a lot of people. I guess it would be, but not for me. It's kind of just a day in the life. So I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm excited to talk about the baseball. Very hot in the streets. NBA a little hot in the streets right now. Baseball.
Pretty hot.
A couple scripts got flipped over the weekend. I'm excited to chat up with you boys. And Trev, I mean, I got to be honest with you. Father's Day, Home Run Derby, like, you're hot in the streets.
I'm hot in the streets. A lot of people, though, Jake, we're talking about your Flip Cup, and, like, you got spider tack sent to you a few days before, and then all of a sudden you're sticking these cups, and we're just not sure if it was legit.
Well, that's where I heard one of you guys said no more sticky stuff today, and, I mean, that's your prerogative. I'm covered in sticky stuff.
No more sticky stuff for me. We used it for a blitzball game, and it was absolutely awful, and I hated it.
Not made for that, we found out.
No.
Made it hurt because it felt like you were throwing nothing. It was just like throwing your arm out of your socket because there was no, like, release of a ball coming out of your hand feeling because they're so light.
Became an off-speed game.
Sucked.
Okay.
Content.
And it's really sticky.
Way too sticky.
Really sticky. You wouldn't know anything about it. Trev, you don't play anymore. We're in a startup league.
Stickiest thing you've ever touched, Trev?
Gotta be tree sap. I mean, come on.
Let the man operate.
Tree
I
sap's
accidentally
so
dropped
sticky.
a bottle of Gorilla Glue at one point, and that was not good.
Great answer.
Yeah. Pretty sticky.
You climb the wrong tree. You get tree sap in your hand.
Sounds like you got
that
some tree
sucks.
sap emotions you got to get out. What happened?
I built a lot of tree forts in my day.
What did it do to you?
Got sap on me.
Jeez.
You ever tapped the maple tree?
No,
before?
but the trees in the Connecticut woods we built were the birch trees, and they smell delicious when you just cut a little piece off. It smelled like root beer.
I feel like I did some
love root beer.
some field trips growing up where it's like, oh, you can get syrup from a tree. And I'm like, I don't. As long as I'm not in school, this is tight.
Yeah.
You can, though. Get you a maple tree.
You can.
You can.
You can.
You can.
Hey, some standings shuffled, guys.
Oh, my God.
In the AL,
Big time.
2 number 1 teams are no longer there. Spoiler.
Teaser.
Teaser.
Teaser and a spoiler.
In the NL, they all stayed the same. Spoiler. No tease there,
Let's
just to spoil.
talk about it.
You ready to dive in? I have the National League.
You're kidding.
Lead us off, big boy.
Yeah, I have it.
Wow, this is big.
This is exciting
This is
for me.
big.
Here's what happened in the National League this weekend. Are you ready? Here we. The Nationals took 3 out of 4 from the Mets. The Mets were on fire. The Nats weren't doing so good. They did have the doubleheader in the middle. The first game was a pitcher's duel as Fetty and Lucchesi, the 2 studs on the Nets, the Mats. Fuck the
Mats is Mets.
The Nets and the Mets that you think about go scoreless to the 9th, and then the Nationals get the walk-off. Double header on Saturday. The Mets win game 1. Lindor goes off. He's got 3 hits in the game. He had all the RBIs. It was the Lindor show. In game 2, it was the Schwarber show. And then the Schwarber show rained on to game 4. Schwarber went off. A lot more on that later. The Nats take 3 out of 4. Corbin had a great start. Lindor had a good game, and McNeil expected to return, and Nimmo starts his rehab assignment. So Mets have some help coming. The Braves, another team that needed to win in the NL East, they take 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals. Also a doubleheader here. Morton had a great start for the Braves. Fried had a great start for the Braves. Smiley had a good start for the Braves. So the Braves got some pitching this weekend. They hit good enough, not amazing, but Ozzie Albies had 5 hits, 3 extra base hits, 4 RBIs. So he did some of the lifting for him. Morton was good. He had a no-hitter in 7 innings, Jake. How about that? The Marlins took 2 out of 3 from the Cubbies. Oh, Cubbies, what you doing? What you doing? The Marlins starting pitchers had a 1.23 ERA. Their relievers had a 1.59 ERA. So the Fish had arms. Cubs starting pitching and relief pitching, both bad. Not good at all. It was Petit, Lopez, and Mills for the Cubs. All wrong. Not even going to try to correct that. Jock Peterson had 3 hits and 2 home runs. Only Cub to record multiple hits. Bryant went 0 for 10. Uh-oh. The Brewers and the Rockies split a 4-game set. Boring. Rockies won the first 2. Brewers won the second 2. Crone had 7 hits, 7 RBIs, 2 home runs, and a walk-off single in game 1. How about that? Willie Adames stays hot with 6 hits, 5 of them extra base hits, including a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 9th of game 3. And my standout performer from last week, Gomber, placed on the 10-day IL. DM. The Dodgers faced Jake's DBacks and sweep them. They had Bauer, then Bueller, then Gonsolin on the bump. They won all 3 games. They scored 21 runs in the 3 games. They only allowed 11 runs. They allowed a lot. Gonsolin didn't pitch that good in game 3, I guess. Bauer goes 7 shutout innings for the 3rd time this year. Bellinger and Muncy are expected back Tuesday or Wednesday, and Seager could begin his rehab assignment. So the Dodgers get a little hot before they get some help. D-backs have lost 17 in a row. They set the record for road losses. They're not good. Giants take 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. Cueto, Nola. My brain's... Hoskins had 2 home runs. Nola got roughed up after a good start against the Yanks. He had like 2 in a row then or whatever. So he gets roughed up. Not fun, not good for him. Phillies starting pitchers had 11.91 ERA. Not good. The Padres swept the Reds. A 4-game sweep. They needed that. They had fans in the stands. It was wild. There was ejections. A fan got ejected. Votto gets ejected in the 1st inning. Padres hit really well. 287 batting average as a team with 9 home runs and 22 extra base hits. Padres starters had a 1.89 ERA. Really good job by them. Myers and Pham had 6 hits each. The Reds scored 4 in the top of the 9th in game 1 to take the lead, but then they got walked off. And then they got a bunch of stuff coming back, but the song's going to end, so I'm going to be done.
Way to go. Great job, Jim. Excellent.
It was all right. I got tripped up because the way the starters are, I thought like all the starters on the left are the same team, and then all the starters on the right are the same team, but it's not that way. So I was tripped up trying to do that. I don't know why it's not that way. That's confusing.
I think the winner is on the left. The loser would be on the right.
Okay. I tried something new. I tried to read it a new way, and I got tripped up.
Stuff happens.
You're beating yourself up over nothing. I think you did a great job.
Kill myself.
Trev.
Don't talk about Willie too much because Willie could be talked about more later in the episode. You guys know I love my boy Adamas.
Feels important and imported.
Yeah.
God, what jumps out here? I mean, I feel like my Diamondbacks.
No, that doesn't jump out.
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
that's right.
The Nats taking 3 or 4 from the Mets is big, and the Mets finally getting more games under their belt is nice. So I'm happy for them there.
NL East, man. The Mets are the only team above 500. Phillies were looking like they were getting some juice. They ran into the buzzsaw that is Los Gigantes, who still are atop the NL West. Dodgers game and a half, and I had a whole thing kind of lined up. I was like, Padres, we getting nervous? We're 5 games back, just to hear they survived to be 5 games back. They 4-game sweep the Reds. That's huge for them. Because, man, we've got a little buffer right now between the Padres and Dodgers and Giants.
I think the one team that needed a good weekend and got it like really badly is the Braves. Starting pitching came to play. Now, we were talking earlier today on the IG show, talking about Kyle Schwarber and like where's he going to go? And I'm like, oh, the Braves could use him. And then you look at the standings, they have the exact same record, the Nationals and the Braves. The Braves got to go. I think what's crazy is I think they'll end up adding, while the Nats, even though they both have the same record on June 21st, the Nats are probably going to sell some pieces. They're just at 2 different times in their organization. But that was a big, big series, especially against the Cardinals. Cardinals are still a good team. And 3 out of 4, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, Anthopoulos for the Braves has to be working the phones. Going to be interesting. We heard whispers / Yankees GM Brian Cashman told our guy Joe's McFly that a lot of GMs are really waiting till the MLB draft this year because that's when last year's draft players become eligible, and a lot of GMs had their eyes on those guys, so once they're back available, that makes it easier to trade. Braves have to be making moves. This is supposed to be a huge part of their window. Really interested to see what that looks like and who, if they want to make the impact moves. I mean, how hot to trot were we on Pache before this season? He's had a tough year. It's picking who's not going to be the guy that rolls with this Braves team the next 4 or 5 years. So that is going to be interesting. Good for them, taking 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals, who they've been on a little skid for a little bit now, huh? How about that?
How about it?
My Rockies, they're a different team at home than the road, so Brewers split. And they get the split in the last 2 games, so that's kind of impactful if you're a Brewers fan. You're sitting there in a 4-game set with the Rockies saying we just lost the first 2.
Yeah.
Good bounce back for them. Man.
Baseball Reference has a new page here.
Huge.
That I've never seen. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know if it's how meaningful it is, but they have the playoff percentage for each team, and then they have it in the change in playoff percentage over the last 7 days.
I do like that.
Which is kind of cool. So in the National League, it says that the Phillies have the Cubs have decreased their percentage of making the playoffs by 8.2% in the last week.
It's not fun.
Yeah. Now, they still are 60% chance to make the postseason, but they were much higher.
68.2 probably.
Somewhere around there for sure. Now, the Phillies, they're the second biggest decline in the last week playoff chances, and they now only have a 21% chance.
Can you send me a link to that? I'm into that kind of ish.
Yeah, if you go,
like that too.
I was on like the
If you're on any team's page and you look at the part where it says playoff odds, that's now a
percentage, just
hyperlink.
click that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really cool, man. They have if you're 90% confident they have their best record the rest of the way, this is what they'll do. They have what they need to do remaining, they think, to make it. It's pretty cool. Good job, Baseball Reference. A new
cool.
page.
That is cool.
Yeah. So in the NL, the team that has, sorry, Trev, but the team that has upped their odds the most is the Nationals, because they took 3 out of 4. They were at 0 chance, and now they're at 8%.
Yeah,
they're at 3%, now they're at 8%.
I think they had a big series before that, too. Patrick Corbin, I don't know if we're talking about him much later, but nice bounce-back start. Couple nice bounce-back starts for him. That would be impactful if he can look like the good playoff Patrick Corbin from a few years ago. What else in the National League? That, you mentioned the Reds-Padres series, and I was, everyone saw Votto this weekend, and you saw some other stuff. I forgot how crazy that first game was. We were recording in the office, and popped a head out there. Kyle was out there, and his eyes were just bug eye mode. He couldn't believe what was happening. Back and forth, absolute chaos. So to hear the Padres came back in that game, and then they take all 4, has to be so deflating for the Reds. They had some good juice going for a couple weeks there, and then the Padres, they had some bad juice. So does this get them back kind of on the right track, finish strong before the All-Star break? And the other thing, hey, Jakey NL West, the Dodgers, the 3 guys you mentioned might be coming back soon. Bellinger and Muncy, 2 of the most fearsome lefty bats. Cool phrase, Jake. And then, hey, add Seager to it too. Those 3 guys, if you're a right-handed pitcher, that's a bad time. And you wonder if that gets the Dodgers. When and if the Dodgers jump the Giants, if they start going.
Well, that's the interesting thing.
Whoa.
Well, when and if. He said when and if, but the Dodgers are now a game and a half back. I think that's the closest it's been in a while. And do they play each other soon? No, the Dodgers go to play the Padres, and then the Cubs, then the Giants, and the Dodgers play each other for a 2-game set, the last 2 games of June. So let's have that game change the standings. That's my ask. When the Dodgers and the Giants play each other on June 28th, I want it to be a game either tied in the standings or a game apart.
Deal.
Speaking of the Giants,
yes,
ERA Plus has them with the 3rd best rotation or pitching staff in baseball, right behind the White Sox and the Mets. But guess what else they do really well? And this shocked me. They're leading the league in homers. The San Francisco Giants are tied with the Blue Jays with 107 home runs. That's not the team that you don't think about home runs when you think about the Giants, especially in that ballpark. They don't have the household names, but they are absolutely crushing the ball too. They have a team 759 OPS.
I wonder how many, maybe there's Giants writers that have done this. How many of those home runs wouldn't have been home runs in 2019? They changed the fence. They changed the fences. They moved the bullpen and they made it. They moved the fence in a bunch.
Where?
I believe in dead center.
Yeah, they brought center in a little bit.
Curious. I would love to know that.
Yeah.
Seems like every time I watch them, they're smashing balls into the bay, and I don't think you can change that.
That fence did not move.
That fence didn't move, and I saw that, and that's just not who you expect or what you expect from that team. You think about pitching, you're like, okay, maybe some timely hitting. But, man, if you can pitch like that, hit homers like that, let's see where they're at in runs scored. Curious.
They didn't move
Fourth and runs scored.
Dead center was
give them their due.
Dead center was 399. Now it's 391, and right center, which was Triple's alley, was 421. Now it's 415. So it's not crazy, but I still wonder if it added 4 home runs, and that helps them.
Yeah, and we don't think about them because the guy leading their team in homers this year is 34-year-old Brandon Crawford with 16.
I love that.
And then it's Buster Posey and Brandon Bell. We might need the Evan Longoria 4th. Are these the daddy Giants? Are these the?
I love them.
Yeah, I know you do.
Hey, check those guys' salaries, career earnings, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll check Brandon Crawford's first. He's about to hit free agency.
Check
All right, let's do Brandon Crawford.
Okay, what do you think? Crawdaddy.
He's 34. He's already had one payday then.
Yeah.
So he's got to be like close to 100. I would say 80, 85.
You want it, John?
Crawford.
Brandon Crawford.
I would think it's under 100 because he stayed with the same team. I'm going to guess, just to make a different guess than Trev, I'm going to say 78 million.
79.7. So
We were all
you guys
over it,
were
Trev.
all over it, man. That was beautiful.
Nice.
That was beautiful, baby. I love it.
You win. The Price is Right rules. You win.
And you know what, Crawdaddy? He gonna get a little payday. He's getting over that 100 clip, baby. What it do, baby?
I love that.
All right. Anything else in the NL? Is anyone going to be upset with us? There's a lot of people are always good.
Yeah, we didn't really talk Cubs and Fish. I mean, I don't know what you do with that. Marlins starting pitcher shoved, and they put up huge runs. Good job by Alec Mills to salvage the series, I guess. I think that's kind of
Right?
right?
You want to talk about your Snakes a little bit?
What do you
Just
mean? What do you want to talk
Cesaro,
about? What
I
do you want
mean,
to talk about? Dodgers are a great team. Bauer, Bueller. I mean,
So they're also
historic.
but losing 17 games in a row is crazy. But then I was looking at this earlier
Yeah.
as well. In one-run games,
Yeah.
2-16.
It's kind of like the Diamondbacks.
That's demoralizing.
It's kind of like they did something to piss off the baseball gods, and we're trying to put our finger on it. We have no idea what it is. But, yeah.
The Cubs
you were the
pitching was
talk of the
horrible.
town, man. You were the talk of the town, and now I don't know if they'll ever let you back in the whole
We
state
are
of
still
Arizona.
great friends. Elijah Green, #1 pick.
Searching
I need
for
30
rings
seconds
in the
before I
desert.
do AL.
We play for rings in the desert.
Searching for
30,
rings.
30 seconds.
30-second timeout for
Okay.
Trevor. You have the AL, right? He has the AL?
He has the AL,
interesting
so
time to
it's
take a
it's
timeout.
tough 30-second
It's a
timeout.
tough. All right, Jake, little game in the 1, 2, 3 teams in the NL have 90% or higher odds to make the postseason. Can you name those 3 teams?
In the NL.
In the NL, 3 teams in the NL have a 90% chance to make the postseason. Can you name those 3 teams?
As of right now, I would guess the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yes, they are the number 1. They have a 98.9% chance, according to Baseball References math, however they're doing this.
I would guess the Padres. No, because they got to be splitting with the Giants a little bit. So I'll spread it out. Brewers.
No.
Okay.
The Brewers have a 34% chance.
Okay. The Mets.
The Mets.
The Mets have a 48% chance.
And I don't know.
The Giants and the Padres. I thought that was going to be like boom, boom, boom. Sorry.
All of them are 90%?
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
Doesn't
That's
seem
tough.
right.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem right. That's what they have.
I wonder what the odds would be on all 3 of them getting there. That's mathable.
Feels mathable, right?
The odds on all 3 is probably individually they each have a 90% chance. But all 3.
Yeah, they're not
It's like a
taking into
50%
account.
chance.
Yeah. That's, I mean, we're kind of a math pod. That doesn't
I like this that they have like
that doesn't make sense.
with 90% confidence.
Yeah.
Baseball Reference is saying that the worst possible record the Dodgers can have is 90 wins and 72 losses right now.
I believe that.
Okay. Trev, you have the AL. Can you let us know what happened? It's brought to you by Cushy Dreams, which is smokable CBD, because smoking is the easiest way to get it into your system. They got 1/8 ounce cans, pre-rolled joints. It's cannabis that ships discreetly to you and discreetly to all 50 states. Indica, sativa. Help you relax, create hustle, peace, energy. Helps with anxiety, depression, inflammation, and more. It won't get you high because there's no THC in it. Well, there's 0.3% THC in it, tiny, tiny bit. So it's legal federally. Just going to help you with the anxiety, help you sleep a little bit, help you relax. It smells and tastes and looks like high-quality marijuana. It's organic. Fresh harvests are always coming in. You can go to cushydreams.com, K-U-S-H-Y. KUSHY.com. Promo code BASEBALL for 20% off your next order. Promo code BASEBALL, Cushy Dreams. Trev, what happened in the American League?
Well, Jim and Jake and BBD, we will be starting in Houston, where my Astros swept a 4-game set with the freaking White Sox. 10-2 Astros, 2-1 Astros, 7-3 Astros, 8-2 Astros. That is a bloodbath, my people. The Astros slashed 290, 377, 473. The White Sox did not hit. Starting pitchers for the Astros were great. The best stat of the whole dang series. The relief pitchers for the Astros only had to pitch 9 innings in 4 games, and they shut him out the entire way. That's how you win a series. That's how you sweep a series. Abraham Toro with 7 hits, Correa 2 homers. Yasmani Grandal, who never gets any hits, was the only White Sox player to record 4 hits. All the 4 Astros starters recorded quality starts were Ikiti, Garcia, and Valdez. They all went 7 innings. Yordan, my guy Alvarez, with the walk-off double in Game 2. And they did all that without Bregman. Dusty says Bregman will be out a while, but the Astros are the team to beat in the AL. They get the sweep. Speaking of sweeps, my Twins went into Arlington and swept the Rangers 7-5, 3-2, 4-2. All Twins. They won the first one in extra innings. They hit okay, 259, 328, 407s, and the Rangers did not hit. Same thing, Twins starting pitchers pitched their butt off. Relief pitchers, .77 ERA. Cruz hit his 15th home run. He has 5 homers in his last 10 games after having gone 3 weeks without hitting one, which seems crazy to me. 7 Twins record multiple hits. Adolis Garcia hit 2 homers because that's what he does. Donaldson at the entire series with a calf injury, and Cruz did have the exit on Sunday with neck tightness, but the Twins go in to Texas, get the sweep. Is this what they needed to get back in it? Probably not. We declared them dead on this show. Moving on, the Blue Jays went into Baltimore. They took 2 out of 3. The Orioles won the first game 7-1. Thomas Eshelman pitching for the Orioles gets it done. The Blue Jays take the next 2, 10-7 and 7-4. Pitching wasn't great for either team in this series. Simeon with 2 homers in Game 2. Vlad Jr. hits his 23rd home run, tied with Ohtani for the league lead. Mountcastle, that's Ryan Mountcastle of the Orioles, 3 homers in Game 2. They still got the loss. The bullpen gets up 6 runs in the 9th that game. Cedric Mullins hits 2 homers in each of the first 2 games. Get that guy to the All-Star game, please. The Blue Jays take 2 out of 3. Moving on, you guys were at a few of these games. The Yankees take 2 of 3 at home against the A's. A's won the first game 5-3. Then the Yankees came back 7-5 and 2-1 on Sunday. The Yankees did not hit the ball. The A's didn't hit the ball, so the pitching was good. Gary Sanchez, though, 3 extra base hits, including a go-ahead 2-run double on Sunday. You're welcome, my people. Matt Olson, Jake would let him date his daughter. 6 hits and 2 homers. Kemp, 2 home runs. And then on Sunday, we all saw Chapman gets into a little bit of trouble there. Up 1 run, 1 pitch. Yankees turn the triple play to end the dang game. That's 3 triple plays in 31 days. That's the shortest span in MLB history. And it's the first game-ending triple play since Eric Brentlett's unassisted triple play in 2009. Love these stats we got here. Voit is expected back this week. That's good news. Steven Piscotty placed on the 10-day IL for the A's. Yankees take 2 out of 3. Moving on to Kansas City. The Royals take 2 of 3 from the Red Sox. 5-3 Royals, 7-1 Red Sox, then 7-3 Royals in the rubber match. The Royals slash 305, 365, 457. Nicky Lopez with 7 hits. Merrifield and Sal Perez, 5 hits and a home run each. Rafael Devers, that babyface stud, had 2 homers. Dahlbeck and J.D. Martinez had a home run and a triple each. The Royals take 2 of 3 from the Red Sox. Out in Anaheim, Tigers went into LA or Anaheim, whatever you want to call it, and they lost 3 out of 4. The Angels take 3 of 4, 7-5 Angels, 11-3 Angels, 8-3 Angels before the Tigers won the last game in 10 innings, 5-3. The Angels hit and pitched, while the Tigers did not hit or pitch. Ohtani hits 4 homers to tie Vlad for the lead with 23. Also, because he's incredible, goes 6 innings, 1 earned run in game 1. Walsh still doing it. Ward's doing it. Upton had 7 hits. Your guy, Matt Boyd, Jim, muscular tendonitis, won't return before the All-Star break. And the last series, Mariners sweep the Rays. Are you kidding me? It's a 4-game set. 6-5, 5-1, 6-5, 6-2. They hit the ball. The Rays didn't. Mariners pitched. The Rays didn't. Ty France stays hot. 6 hits, 2 homers. Luis Torrens, 2 home runs. Margot and Wendell only Rays to record 4 hits. 3 of these wins were walk-off wins for the Mariners. Seager with the walk-off in Game 1, Haniger with the walk-off in Game 3, and Long with the walk-off grand slam in Game 4. Oh, yeah. To combat that sweep, the Rays called up Wander Franco, and that is what happened in the AL.
Rays get swept.
4-game sweep.
Yeah. That's
Hands
crazy.
Mariners. Yikes.
I mean, piggybacking. When an AL team goes out west, that is tough for a fan. Your games are on 3 hours later. I mean, Yankees Twitter turns into this weird, like, insomnia Twitter that I actually feed off, so I do enjoy it. But, man, if you're a Rays fan,
Stayed up for all those.
you got the Glass Now news, and then this happens. That's a tough baseball week for the Rays. Interested to see how they bounce back. And, man, calling up Wander, people were wondering if, we never know the Rays' plan. Was it going to be this year? Were they going to try to keep him down? They traded Slick Willie, which, again, Trevor said you might hear about him in a little bit, so just wait for it. I love it for the Rays. I had a couple buddies text me because, number one prospect, that's a big deal. And they were like, what's the deal? And I told them kindly, I hope he's a meh rookie this year with ups and downs, and then I hope he's really good because I can't deal with a Wander Franco show this year. But excited for him, excited for Rays fans.
It's going to be interesting to see how he handles it. Obviously, the guy's an all-world talent, but this is the show. And we saw with Kelenic, you might have some initial success right away, but then there's adjustments that you'll need to make. I think the Rays probably will put him in better situations than the Mariners did with Kelenic. They were as soon as Kelenic came up, he was supposed to be the savior for this team. And I don't think the Rays are counting on Franco to be the savior. A spark, yes, but a savior, no. I think all fans need to temper their expectations a little bit. Because, like I said, this guy's 20 years old. I think he just turned 20. And to be up in the show like that it's tough.
The other side of this, hey, shout out Mariners. Ty France has been at it for a little bit now. J.P. Crawford, I think I have to say his name every episode now for our one fan that always says we have to mention J.P. Crawford.
Shed Long.
My guy Shed Long, a little walk-off granny.
He had a big hit in game 1 or 2 as well. 8th inning, like go-ahead or tying or something like that. He gets pulled for defense in 2 games? Is that why he gets pulled or he gets pinch hit for?
I'm not sure.
He hasn't finished 4 games. I wonder if that's for defensive reasons, I guess.
But
that last game, man, they bunt, single, to move. They're just bunting to move the runner over. Then fielder's choice to get the out at home. Then the walk, and then a grand slam. Sucks.
Jake with the only over pick on the Mariners in our TPPs at 72.5 games. Looking pretty good right now because they're sitting at 38 and 36.
Well,
2 games over 500.
With 90% confidence, Baseball Reference saying that their worst case scenario is 71 and 91. So you're a good pick, Jake.
Go.
We'll see, guys. A lot of baseball to be played. Analytics, Jimmy, making me smile ear to ear. Love that.
That's Baseball Reference.
Halo fans too, and I kind of got lost in this last episode, I think, a little bit. Man, well, the Astros built entirely different. They drop it all over the White Sox, cheese and rice.
That's a statement series every year.
That changes the AL outlook type series. And for the Athletics, so hey, I'm a West Coast guy today. West Coast Jake, what's up, Trev? Oh, what's up, dude? Man, the Angels, who have been playing a better brand of baseball lately, they are 500. The Ohtani show is unreal. When me and Jimmy were caught in traffic yesterday, it was the first time since we've kind of been in the great game of doing this that we were like, yo, if Ohtani pitches at Yankee Stadium, like, we got to be in the building. Indica, couch, in the building for Ohtani. So excited for that. Hopefully MLB has some fun with that. He's in the Derby. That put some lead in my pencil. Interested to see how long these Mariners and Angels hang around, because I know as JOMBOY gets lost in these playoff percentages, if these are around 500 teams, that can affect the AL wildcard in a big way. Athletics lost a tough series to Trev's Yanks this weekend, so West Coast, Best Coast, it's getting a little wild and weird out there.
I'll be interested to see how the Angels fare in this next stretch. They got 2 against the Giants, 3 against the Rays, 4 against the Yankees. They swept the Tigers. They had to, otherwise they'd be dead.
DED dead.
What's tough is, I feel bad saying this, but you could almost pick the 5 playoff teams for the AL right now. You could almost just say who they're going to be.
Say it.
Like the Astros and the A's are going to be there. So one of those teams is taking the wild card. The White Sox are going to win that Central Division. So there's 3. East is going to have probably 2 teams. I don't know who they're going to be. So that kind of leaves the Mariners and the Angels, even the Indians, and 2 of those East Division teams looking up. And they could have great seasons, but I just think it's really top heavy right now in the AL.
I've got Cleveland circled right now as a team that can ruin a couple good ball club season, man. If Royals, Twins, and Tigers continue to die and Cleveland can rack up some easy dubs in the back of this stretch while, say, a team like you mentioned, the Athletics going for the wild card, or whoever's in the AL East, if the Angels and Mariners are doing one of those we think we're still in it and Trout's back, Ohtani show, all that, that's going to be a lot different than Cleveland going to face the Twins if they trade off bodies, or the Tigers, whatever they're doing. I've really got Cleveland as a pivot team in the AL right now, because if they can win enough games, they can ruin a couple ball club seasons by sneaking into the wild card.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at the AL East. I mean, there's no guarantee 2 teams are going to come out of the AL East, because every team there has their problems. The Red Sox, they can hit the ball. They've pitched well, but since this whole crackdown thing has happened, they haven't pitched well. So, I'm curious to see how they're going to go in that regard, because that was their question mark coming into the season. Was the starting pitcher? It overperformed. We'll see if they can keep it up. Rays lose Glass now. That's a huge loss for them. How do you replace someone like that? And the Yankees obviously have problems of their own. The Blue Jays have been pretty underwhelming. I don't know, man. Maybe my whole AL East thing is totally off. Maybe only one team comes out of there. Then, like you said, the Indians sneak in there.
You were in line with what Baseball Reference has as the most likely scenarios. So don't discredit yourself.
The computers, baby.
Yeah. Blue Jays in the last 7 days, their playoff chances have gone down 27%, biggest in all of baseball. I wanted to talk about, obviously, the Astros. They're so good. Greinke didn't even pitch, but Luis Garcia has the best ERA in the season for them. Framber's the real deal. And then, like you said, Trev, they barely had to go to their pen. They just banged up these White Sox pitchers who have been good. They did Lance Lynn dirty, broke my heart. Makes me upset, and I don't like it. And then I was bouncing around a couple things when I was listening to the AR recap. Kikuchi, another good game. My guy. Needed it. So I like that. Against the Rangers. His ERA's below 350. Yeah, he can pump it in there. He's having a good stretch right now. ERA is below 3.5 for the first time. Dobnak, he pitched a couple innings without giving a run. Hadn't done that in a long time, very honestly.
Let's go, Dobnak.
So 5 innings pitched, 2 runs for Dobnak. Just on a personal note,
let's go.
He needed that. I'm happy for him.
Spiritually,
he needed that, and I'm happy that he got it. Those are kind of all what I was dancing around. The Tampa series is crazy. Good for the Mariners. It's like it sucks for any fan that stayed up to watch those. Man, that blows.
I was in Minnesota when the Astros were in town. I got to see Framber pitch. I was actually on the broadcast. I was right behind home plate watching Framber do his thing. It's so impressive, man. I love that we were on Framber early and he's just turned into like this guy. But the way he dances, like starts everything middle of the plate and everything just runs off the plate. You could really see it from that angle I had. He's special, man. He's one of those guys like you're not going to have big innings against this guy because he doesn't throw the ball over the plate enough. Like he makes you chase so much. He's a lot of fun to watch.
Well, he puts so much pressure on you because his numbers get better as the game goes. So, every other pitcher lives in fear of that third time through. Framber kind of doesn't scare. If you don't get him early, you're going to be in a bad place. And that's where, Jim, you mentioned Luis Garcia, who's like kind of not a throwaway name for them. He was the 5th prospect in their org. He had the best strikeout rates, I believe, of any starting pitching prospect in baseball. And they casually call him up, and if he finds it, like that's where I guess in my head I just jump to the Rays. Whenever they call up a pitcher, it feels like a weird party trick. It's like, oh, this guy throws from an angle no pitcher's ever seen before. This guy throws a pitch called the Invisiball, and you're like, okay, Rays, I get it. Houston calls up dudes that they might not have been the top prospect or a Wander Franco, but then you hear the backstory, and you're like, oh shoot, so Luis Garcia has a chance to be like really good? Okay, great. They have 5 starting pitchers right now who are ranked in the top 75 starting pitchers by Fangraphs this year, and that does not include Jake Odorizzi, who's currently kind of their 6th man. So we all, let's give ourselves credit. We all figured this out before the season. We were like, damn, Houston's got way too much talent. And they're showing it right now. Their lineup, starting pitching. If they add another bullpen arm, good. If not, when playoffs get here, you kick a starter or 2 to the pen, and you just change your team that way.
Luis Garcia is good. And that series, the stat that I love, Trev, how are you? How good you're good? Or do you play good against good teams? That series, the Astros beating the White Sox, bumps them up to having a 35-19 record against winning teams, which is the best in all of baseball. What is that?
We're getting a little feedback, I think, from
you?
your mic, Poppy. Sorry.
I don't know.
The White Sox, I said this last episode that they're starting to play bad against good teams. They're 17-23 now. That's the worst record in the AL for a playoff team against good teams. So I don't know.
Something to watch.
It's too early for those stats to really matter, but I am when it comes to playoff time in September, and anyone that listens to the show knows I do take that shit into account, and I kind of has proven out year over year. Like you got to beat good teams to be able to beat good teams in the postseason. Wherever you are, there
had
you
a little
are.
chat. I had a little chat with Jim Tomei,
Ooh, flex.
who works. I think he's a special assistant with the White Sox. And we were talking. I said, "Man, your team is legit. There's no holes." He's like, "Yeah, no, we're doing it without Jimenez and Luis Robert." And we were talking about, like, do you have anybody in the pipeline coming up? He says they still have more guys ready to bring up, and they have the ability financially and like the want to make a move at the deadline. So like that team's not complete yet, and like they're so good on all sides of the ball already. I'm curious to see who or what they'll go after. C. Rose this morning mentioned, maybe they go after a Schwarber, put him in the outfield. They've lost some thump out there. Mercedes hasn't been good since La Russa called him out. Way to go, Tony. Way to ruin that guy's dream season. But, a big impact bat with them. Like, they're already so good. I'm not worried about these White Sox at all. They're so freaking good.
Trev, can I ask you a couple
tough series for them.
Couple quick hitter baseball guy questions?
Sure.
100 career homers in big leagues, pretty impressive, right? I mean, not a lot of guys have done that. You're one of them. 200 homers, pretty impressive.
It's really impressive.
300?
Really?
4?
Really impressive. Where are you going with
5?
this?
Tomei's got 500 home runs.
6. 612. Like Jim Tomei, people. Like, talk about that.
He's a
dude
real life.
more.
Yeah. He's a hero.
Man.
Like, he's so big and so nice and fun and awesome.
612? That's nuts.
Yeah, man.
How many people have 600 home runs?
Like 10?
That's a tight window.
I always put it this way. 600 home runs is 10 straight years of 60 home runs. Like, think about that. That's a joke. Or
9.
20 if they're
9 guys have it. Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, A-Rod, Willie Mays, Albert Pujols, Ken Griffey Jr., Jim Tomei, Sammy Sosa.
For a 7-year stretch, 96 through 02, Tomei averaged 290, 424 on base, a 1.016. 7 years.
And you know what? He's like
Dude.
still as big as when he was playing. Like, he's just like a big MFer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you're that big, is it tough to size down? But you see a lot of O linemen do it. I like Tomei staying big though. That I don't like a skinny Jim Tomei.
He's so funny, man.
What else you got, Jimmer, for that?
You can do 9 years and it stays 1 dot. 9 years in a row, 1 dot OPS.
It's an all-time hitter.
I don't know. I don't have much. The Red Sox lose to the Royals. It's good for the Royals. Benny facing his old team and all that stuff. Devers had 2 home runs. The Mariners sweep, we talked about that. Yankees take 2 out of 3 from the A's. That was cool. I'm still not sold on the Yankees, but they needed to do what they've done to at least keep the maybe alive. Like, it's like it's a loose maybe for me right now, but they needed to do that. And they came from behind in all 3 of them, so that's good. Obviously, we talk about that on Talkin' Yanks.
Come behind Yanks. Last 5 wins, all from behind, Trev.
Miles and miles of heart. And then the Blue Jays took 2 out of 3 from the O's. They need to start winning a lot of games. Kind of ugly baseball.
I want to see them get going.
They're
They need to go.
yeah, man. That's started with Wander Franco. Like, if he changes the dynamic of the Rays, that changes the complexion of the East. So that's where I'm living in fear of that a little bit. And yeah, if the Baby Jays can win a couple games, we know they wanted to spend more money. We know they believe in this core, so that makes it all that much more scary. Interested to see what they do. And just for the White Sox fans, you got rolled up on, sure, and they're probably hoping by the end of this year, we'll see if anything comes up with Eloy Jimenez. He's hurt. Madrigal, Madrigal, we'll see if he comes back. Lubob, he's been out. So when you see Madrigal, Eaton, Eloy Jimenez, and Lubob out of the lineup, that's tough for the White Sox. Some of the guys replacing them. Brian Goodwin, I think he started the year not on a team. Jake Lamb, he's currently in the lineup. Danny Mendick, I bet, my guy.
Okay.
Let's go to the IL, the injured list. Jake, you're up.
The series everyone is talking about, and god damn it, Chris Rose's Cleveland Indians. They lose 2 out of 3 to JOMBOY Media / Cole Tucker's Pirates. 11-10. How is that game, baseball fans? Cool versus Mejia. What a baseball game. I loved watching that game. 6-3 Pirates in game 2, and then the Indians salvaged the set 2-1. Both teams hit around 220. Both starting pitching was okay, and the relievers were bad. Did anybody watch? I didn't. Pirates take 2 out of 3 from Cleveland. What a weekend of baseball.
Wow, dude. The Indians' 3 starting pitchers, only one of them's in my book.
Oh, wow.
Cal Quantrill.
Quantrill.
I don't know. The other names aren't familiar.
Yeah.
Who's Sam Henches?
He got mentioned on here once before. I forget if it was for good news or bad news. Do you remember?
He got in the series with the Yankees, so we heard of him.
Okay.
Then, but Henches
and JC Mejia. Both guys made their debut this season, so both rookies.
Huge.
And both made their debut in the bullpen and now are starting. Both got roughed up. Or no. Henches had a good game. Mejia got roughed up. Pirates.
That's tough, man.
It's a tough interleague. It's a tough interleague.
That's the series. Like, that's tough. Love you, baseball. That's a tough one.
Chad Kuhl. Good start by him.
That's cool.
Drops his ERA by a full run.
JT Brubaker.
You guys both had the Indians over 81.5, and I had them under. Looking like you guys are going to be right there. 39 wins already.
They just do enough.
I got off my baseball reference page.
Oh, Trev, I want to say something half rude to you. It's going back to the AL.
This is going to be exciting.
Jami gave him a little bit of love. Jami Mommy. Ryan Mountcastle getting going for the Orioles. Happy for him. You were ready to block him with Pujols, so go eat a bug.
Pujols has been dominant since going to the Dodgers. I mean, think about how much better he would have been having a mentor like Pujols there. I wasn't blocking him anyway. It was like you could find playing time.
I know.
They're not trying this year. Did you see them?
Yeah.
Like, do you see what Jose Ramirez did to them? I mean, the Orioles aren't trying.
I know.
I'm happy for Mountcastle. I own a lot of his rookie cards.
How many?
Keep hitting those 3 homers. A lot. Probably like 5 or 6 of them I own.
That's huge.
They're for sale now because he had a good weekend.
Jesus. Guess how many multi-hit games Pujols had with the Angels this season?
Not many. 1 or 2.
2.
Yeah.
3, 4. 2.
He's got 6 with the Dodgers.
He's been good, man. He's been good. Now people are like, can he hit 700? He's 23 away or something like that. 27.
He didn't have a single double with the Angels this year. He's got 2 with the Dodgers.
80 plate appearances, just under an 830 OPS so
Pretty
far.
pretty messed up that he's hitting for the Dodgers.
It is messed
Yeah.
up. Back to
Why
Mountcastle.
So rude.
Dude, he was a 67.
Mountcastle hits the shit out of the ball, by the way.
Yeah, he's been good.
Like those 3 homers he hits the crap.
He's
out
been
of
good for a little bit. Like the last 2 months, he's got an OPS in the 9s after having a terrible start. So good job bouncing back, young fella.
Pujols has played more games with the Dodgers now than he had with the Angels, which is interesting this season.
This year.
Yeah. And he's gotten more plate appearances. He's close. He's 8. He had 92 plate appearances with the Angels. He's gotten 80 with the Dodgers. It's close to being the same. It's funny. More home runs as a Dodger than an Angel.
I didn't slip this into Talking Yanks yesterday. Check that out, I guess.
Ooh.
But we were talking about how bad Rougned Odor's been over the 5 years. There's 3 players with a worse WAR than him over that time, and Pujols is one of them. And I guess he might pass him now.
Pujols has gold on his baseball reference now. He is the all-time leader.
Oh, I know this one, I think. Double plays.
Grounded in double plays. Wow.
Hey.
Only player with over 400 of them.
Gold.
So that's the...
I've never seen gold. Where's gold? Hold on. Oh, wow.
Yeah, gold means like in the history of baseball, all time.
Wow.
It's the best.
Wow.
I wonder if he got that recently.
I think it might have been last season.
They,
All right. Let's don't look. Let's play before
Okay.
we move on. Pujols salary.
career money made.
Career earnings.
400.
Got to be a little south of that. God, but probably not much. I like that. 325.
$345 million.
That's cool.
Ooh, should we do Pujols' basement? We did Grinky's.
What's in Pujols'
What's
basement?
Pujols' weird thing he has in his basement? I have him having...
It's just all white and red.
I have him having a full replica of his favorite bar. With mannequins and stuff, too.
I just have the biggest couch.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Pujols has been the all-time double plays, grounded into leader for a while. I think 17 is when he passed Cal Ripken for the most.
You play enough games.
I got him having like an excellent like rum selection, like a bunch of rums you don't even know exist. In fact, there's like this thing that some big leaguers do. They'll find the shipwrecked bottles of liquor and they buy them at auction. I bet Pujols has a few shipwrecked rum bottles.
That's good.
In his.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Rarely have I heard something that eccentric rich people collect where I'm like, I would want that. But shipwrecked liquor, if it's like an old shipwreck liquor bottle that has been now found.
Arrieta does that I know that for a fact because he told me.
That's
cool.
I'm
assuming Pujols is something like that.
That's the first thing that's like, all right, if I'm rich, I'm going to start. Maybe I'll do that to kill some time. That'll be fun. I don't even.
That's cool.
I'm just like, maybe I just have a ship. I'll buy a beach house. It'll be nautical themed. I'll just have a bunch of shipwreck stuff.
I love that. So that's what happened in the Cleveland-Pittsburgh series. Good job.
Let's go to individual stuff, back end of the show. Standout Performance Awards, the likes. It's brought to you by DraftKings. You can go to DraftKings. It's our favorite sportsbook, but it's also America's top-rated sportsbook. Let's see the crazy shit they have for you today. A chance to turn $1 into $100 in site credits. Any basketball team. So we're still doing any basketball team. You bet on them to win. If they win, you turn $1 into $100. You take those $100 of free credits. You bet them on the Twins to not cover because they're the team in baseball that has covered the least amount out of all 30 teams. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code JOMBOY when you sign up to turn $1 into $100 in free credits. Bet on any basketball team of your choice to win their next game, and if they do, you will claim $100 in free credits. That's promo code JOMBOY for a limited time, only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania. Only new customers, only wager paid out in site credits. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Hey, before we do the individual stuff, Jim, you know I've got a pretty good baseball nerd side to me. I know a lot of names, usually from my nerdy baseball game. Man, Cleveland's rotation right now, as listed on Fangraphs.
Not in your book.
Aaron Savale. I think we could have landed on that one.
We know the Civ.
Connecticut guy, love him. Eli Morgan.
I think I've heard that, but I wouldn't have ever guessed it.
Heard the name, probably wouldn't have guessed it. J.C. Mejia. We just did that one. Kind of didn't have that. Cal Quantrill, familiar kind of because it's a baseball name.
Well, and we've had a lot of
he was
debates
on a
about
trade. Hentges is there 5?
That's how you're pronouncing that?
I mean, I'm not.
I think it is a J.
Henches.
Henches, like henchmen.
Yes.
Hentges.
It's Hentges.
Right now, Bieber, Plesac are on the IL.
Yep.
Tristan McKenzie and Logan Allen are in AAA. So, yeah. How about it, Cleveland? I didn't have a lot of those guys.
And Quantrill, all the guys that you started, Mejia, Quantrill, and Hentges, whatever his name is, they were all in the bullpen like a couple weeks ago, and now they're just starting.
Yeah. Hentges has 5 games started now. Like I said, they still win.
Yeah.
And they're okay against teams above 500, Jim. I looked that up. They were like 1 game below 500 against teams above 500. How about that?
Good managing.
For a sentence.
Well, anyway, my standout performance of the weekend goes to Kyle Schwarber for me on Sunday. He has 3 hits. All of them are home runs. They only won 5-2, so it's not like garbage time. Pretty crazy. And I'm not doubling it up, but it does make it more impressive that he had 2 homers the game before. So it's 5 homers in his last, 6 at-bats, or whatever the numbers were. But in that game, 3 home runs. He had a leadoff home run, first inning off of Taijuan Walker, a 2-0 pitch. Boom. Gone. Then, in the 5th inning, leading off against Taijuan Walker again in a 2-1 game. A full count. Boom. Gone. Then, 7th inning, his next at-bat. It's a 3-2 game now. It's all of these were tied games or 1-run games. Against Familia, he gets an 0-1 pitch. Boom. Gone. 3 home runs for Schwarber in the game. And he's been on fire lately. I'm sure that he's on in Fuego. He's been on in Fuego. He goes 4 RBIs, helps them win single-handedly, as every homer came when they were tied or up only 1 run. So Schwarber gets my standout performance. Good job by him.
Love it, Jim. By the way, his numbers this year, which pretty solid season, not far off from his career numbers. Kyle Schwarber can hit.
His numbers in his last 10 games are nuts. In the last 10 games, he got a 1.1 slugging.
Whoops.
1 dot slugging. He's got 9 home runs in his last 10 games. He's playing himself into a trade or playing his team into not trading him.
To non-trades.
He's going to be traded. Yankees. There's no way they can go for him, right? Like, they don't have room, or do they?
If you trade a bad defensive left fielder for...
Yeah, they could.
They could.
They very much could. You just sit Andy Frazier and say, we don't believe in you guys, and like that's not crazy.
They really need a center
They need
field
someone
body.
who can fake center field at least.
Yeah.
Was Aaron Judge playing center
Yep.
field?
Was.
Played it a couple times now.
Biggest center
I don't
kinda like
think
it.
he's played 9 innings in center field in a game yet, but he's played in parts of a bunch.
biggest center fielder in baseball history.
Kyle Schwarber has 4 nicknames listed on his baseball reference page.
Schwarbo.
Hulk. It's not one. It's Hulk, Schwarbs, Warbird, and Schwarby.
Schwarbs and Schwarby both being on there is kind of ridiculous. What the fuck is Warbird?
I kind of like Warbird. I think it's because it kind of sounds like Schwarber.
Warbird?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Keep in
I'm
homers.
up
Get
next.
paid. Trev?
My standout performance is, you guys know I love him. He was on the IG Live with you guys when he was just shipped over from the Rays to the Brew Crew. Willie Adames, and Game 3 of the series goes 4 for 5 with a homer, 3 doubles, 3 RBIs. He has the go-ahead 2-run homer in the 9th to basically get the win for the Brew Crew. In 100, he's had 100 at-bats now with the Brewers. 10 doubles, 4 homers, and 839 OPS. With the Rays, 625 OPS. So change of scenery has done Willie really well. He's playing defense. He's hitting the ball. I got to look up how old he is. Hold on one second, 'cause I know he's not very
25.
old. So I think the Brew Crew got a really good one here. I really, really like them giving him the chance. The change of scenery worked. This guy could be an all-star. Like he has that type of potential. Didn't necessarily see it with the Rays, but whatever they're doing with him in Milwaukee is working. So shout out our guy Willie. He went down the slide for you guys.
Did he?
Good dude. Like him.
He went down the slide?
didn't he?
We ask.
Don't you guys remember?
We ask every player, have you gone down the slide yet? We've yet to find someone that says yes, but everyone says they want to.
Yeah, he did. Kyle put all that on social.
Oh,
Like afterwards, he went down the slide.
damn.
He's a doer.
I got to check out.
You guys didn't even know that. See,
Yeah,
I
check out
knew
the
that.
socials. They also have him for 4 more years or 3 more years after this one. So he's
Yeah.
like a Brewer. If he's good and he stays, unless the Brewers decide to flip him. But that's pretty cool. They didn't give up much for him.
Mentioned it last time. Chris Rose rotation, Adames up. It's a great listen anyways, but said he couldn't see the ball in Tampa. And his road numbers are great, and now his numbers are kind of in line. So if the Rays just snagged a casual 800 OPS shortstop that can pick it at age 25 for a couple relievers, not bad, Brew Crew. Not bad.
Jake, can I ask you a question?
Yay.
Who's your standout performer?
Standout performance.
Dude, I think I took the wrong pills.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
A little worried about you. My standout performance, I'm going with an old man.
Wow.
Oh, man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. I'm going with Waino. Waino dropped it on the table, and I always love when that happens. By the way, Adam Wainwright, 39 years old, turns 40 in August. He now is having a really nice season. 14 starts to the tune of a 3.74 ERA. And over the weekend, he dropped a little 7 innings pitch, 1 earned run, 11 Ks against the Atlanta Braves. Only game they won this series. Waino does it, and Trev brings it out of me sometimes. I've got a little romance for the older guys. Whenever we used to do Talkin' Yanks, a lot of people would always ask your favorite players, and as you get older, I can't idolize Gleyber Torres. He's a bunch of years younger than me. I look at Wainwright and I'm like, man, you're a badass, dude. Still dropping it on the table, still throwing yackers, and casually having a great year. In a year he turns 40 years old. So good job, Waino.
I love that. And there's something to be said about being with one team your entire career. I think that's just so cool. Like, you have to be good. Your team has to continue to be good. But it just doesn't happen. He's done it the entire way. I have his salary up, career earnings. I'll let Jim speak on Waino real quick, and then we'll give the chat a little time to have their input. But Waino's the man.
You know what it was? It was the fact that Yachty threw out the first base runner that got on base. Abraham Almonte said, you know what? Just let him get on base. I'll throw him out for you. And then we'll just keep going.
You want to get on?
Yeah.
Then you got to deal with that.
I tweeted that out like that. Like, it looked like Yachty was goading Almonte into running.
Yachty said, we're going to walk this guy so I can throw him out.
From his knees, a 1.6.
Trev, we love when Timer Trev comes out. Jake was very excited when you tweeted out and you had all the stopwatches.
So hold on, I'm curious because I would love to see this page. Is there a page of best pop time? Like, how do they measure that?
It's called sequence. Stan Allen Rourke. Have him do it.
Yeah, I instead of you using your timer, you use your timer, right? So Trev tweets out, I clocked it 3 times the pop time,
which I genuinely love.
Yeah.
That's Trout.
I do it 3
Scout
times.
Trevor Plouffe coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want Dan to take the footage and put it into the editing program, and he can literally just
Get
you the exact time from glove to glove.
We can check your work.
And then Dan can check your work.
I like that. I do like that. But that's the thing is StatCast doesn't have this because it's in the glove, so they can't measure that.
Yeah, I don't know if they measure individual events. I know you can get lists of other averages. There's a pop time ranking you can go look at.
There is a pop time ranking. I don't know how they do that.
I don't know
either.
if that's just
like I said, you have to
or they figure it out after the
in the
season.
glove.
So they measure it by exchange here. So the fastest exchange time is actually Reese McGuire, who's got .63.
So that's just glove to throw.
Glove to throw, I'm guessing. Yeah, release,
But I kind of don't care because I need to know your arm strength.
Yeah, I don't care if you
Even
throw
though
it
it got where
10
it's
feet
supposed
into
to.
the air. Who cares? So then they have,
a 1.6 is disgusting.
1.89 is the best average pop time by JT Realmuto this season. No, this is 2019.
I've seen that page.
So wait, they don't have this? They
page.
only have 2019? They don't have this updated for 2020 or 2021? It's rude.
Can I bring it back to Waino for a sec?
Yeah.
Please.
So Waino, his numbers on the year, as Jake cited, are good overall. But really, you can just take out that first start of the year when he went 2.26 earned. And since then, it's a 3.2 ERA.
Dude, he's
There's some other starts you can butter knife even more if you really want to. But just that one.
He's been nasty for a little while. There's a couple different ways you could go with it. Last 8 starts, 3. He has 7 of his starts are 100 pitches or more. Show that to the fucking kids. Ho!
Why wouldn't you? So anyway, if anyone's wondering earlier, the theory is that I took Benadryl instead of my regular allergy pills. because I am asleep. And I feel bad for the audience. But I think I took the took the wrong pill.
I think you bennied.
I think I did. I have such a big day ahead of me too. I'm pretty
JOMBOY on bennies.
I'm pretty upset about it. Slump Watch is next.
Adam Wainwright, 149 M's career earnings. I thought it'd be more, to be honest with you. It's a lot of money.
That's pretty good. Well,
That's St.
that's
Louis
the
discount.
thing. You stay with the same team,
Yep.
and that's what baseball needs to incentivize more. It's cool that Waino is a Cardinal for life. It's cool that Crawford has played with the Giants for so long. These guys are getting less because they're not hitting the open market. They're signing the extension. What MLB has incentivized is what the Rays do, and that's why I said the Rays are bad for baseball. I'm not talking about like the play of the Rays. I'm talking about the way the system works, and the Rays are the best at manipulating the system that the CBA is. And you're incentivized to sell Willy Adames when he's got 3 years left on his contract and not sign an extension. And I had a bunch of Rays fans that were mad at me, and they didn't understand what I was saying at all. They thought I was just saying the Rays suck, which I 100%, it's the opposite. Like, the CBA needs to incentivize keeping a guy in a hometown, not churning and burning young guys for 3 years, then getting rid of them, and then next 3 years, and then getting rid of them next 3 years. And that's what the system is. The Rays are phenomenal at using it to their advantage, but I'd rather, and the career earnings of Crawford and Waino are examples of why it's more rare, because the guys want to hit the open market and give you the bell of the ball. And I want players to earn as much money, but I also want guys to stay with their team. So I don't know the solution, but they should really try and incentivize that.
I've got it. You do, if you're with a team 5 years and you sign with them, only 80% of your salary hits the cap. So a team can, in theory, pay you more, or or what you would have gotten on the market, and it affects your team less. So you're incentivized to stay. So if you have
I do like that
5 years, if you have 10 years,
like
then the percentage changes. So if Waino would have hit 10 mil on the open market, the Cardinals can sign him for 10 mil, and it only 5 mil hits your cap or something like that.
There's no cap.
I wonder if that prevents
Luxury
if that would prevent teams from even giving you an offer, because they know they're gonna, if they would just give you the same offer you're gonna get, and we'll match with
But wouldn't that still be good for the game at this point?
Yeah, I want guys getting played, but I want them staying, and I want guys filling out their rookie contracts with teams if they're starters.
Right.
Like Willy Adames is a starter. I know they have awesome guys coming up, and he was bad at home, and it's just one example of this happening.
So you'd have to incentivize the back end of their rookie deals a little bit. There's something there.
Yeah.
I'm sleight of brain.
And the part about the Rays being bad for baseball is that they're trying to copy that.
Tell Tony I said what up bad.
Yeah.
BBD, go ahead and robot me.
Slump Watch.
Roboing Trev real quick.
See ya, Trev. BBD, we had 5 guys, big names that we liked last week that we were tracking. Can you tell us the 5 guys we may be adding?
And I added a 6th during the show, but I'm excited to review the guys we kept from last week because they're interesting. But this week we're going to potentially add Yandy Diaz. He goes 0 for 12 with a ribby and 4 Ks. Chris Bryant 0 for 10 with a walk. Robbie Grossman's in a 1 for 19 slide, 2 ribbies, a walk, 6 Ks. Javi Baez is 1 for 9, 4 Ks. Got hit by a pitch too. I like when we include that. Jose Abreu is 2 for his last 14, 2 ribbies, 2 walks, 3 Ks. And his teammate Yermin Mercedes goes to 0 for 11 on the series. Zoom out a little more. He might be in too bad a stretch to even really do it, but 6 for his last 67, and we just kind of have missed that. So Yermin's down bad.
Yeah, he's been bad. All right.
But I think we've kind of missed it, so I want to make sure we look at it.
So who we had last week, we had Reese Hoskins on there. He has a huge week. Huge weekend, 4 for 13 with 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. And he was on this 2 series in a row. Reese was on Slump Watch, so claps for him to get off. Good job by Reeser.
And his last series, he was kind of doing what he always does. Like, he was working some walks and stuff. He didn't break out.
But we wanted to see more.
I knew he would. Reese gets hot. He hit a homer last series. That was his only hit. I knew he'd get off.
Jazz Chisholm. He goes 3 for 14 with 2 walks. I'm gonna tell him he's still in his
3
rookie.
for 12.
3 for 12 with 2 walks.
Makes it a little better. I mean, 250 hitter, 357
but it's
on
his
base.
rookie year.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't need him to be shamed to flame every time.
Right.
He's
and
just
he was coming
off
off the IL.
Yeah, I'm doing 2 claps.
Okay.
No claps for Jake.
Get rid of him.
Jake doesn't clap for
No.
people.
Jazz, I believe in you.
Adam Frazier, 3 for 11 with an RBI and 2 walks and a hit by pitch. That's a 273 average and a 429 on base percentage in this series. He needed that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's off.
He's off.
Good job.
Good job. 2 claps from Jake.
2 claps.
Nolan Arenado, he goes 3 for 13 with a homer and a double and 3 RBIs and a walk. He had an 0 for before that. It's a 231 batting average of 286.
So I want to see the candidates first
Okay.
because he's been in a little bit of a funk, and the Cardinals need some juice. Like, this would be a hell of a time for Arenado to kick in a gear and, like, put the Cardinals on his back and make them his team. So I just want to see the other candidates first before I make a move, if that's okay.
Totally fair.
Okay.
Totally fair. Yandy Diaz, he's a candidate, 0 for 12 with 4 Ks. No walks.
The biggest offer on the list.
Yeah. Yeah,
him on?
I'm interested in that.
Chris Bryant's also going on, 0 for 10
Yeah.
with a walk. He's been having a great year. They got him in the All-Star game so far. He goes on. Robbie Grossman, you care about this? 1 for 19, 2 RBIs and a walk. People are talking about
I
a trade
do.
candidate. His numbers have actually been bad since he came back from injury, I think. I think he had a hot start to the season over in Detroit, and then he got hurt or something like that. Or maybe he didn't get hurt.
I think he's an on-base guy, so if you stop hitting, I mean, the batting average stats can get really ugly really quick. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of Robbie Grossman trade talk, so I'm interested for a week.
I mean, his last 20 games now are like really bad numbers, so I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of Robbie Grossman trade talk anymore.
Interested for a week.
Okay. I'll give you that one I'll give you that one, but because I think he's not worth tracking. Javi Baez, we already have a Cub. Jose Abreu, 2 for 14. 2 for 14, 2 RBIs and 2 walks. I don't think Abreu's on here.
Yeah,
He's nominated
I could
first
go without
name.
Abreu.
Okay.
Abreu.
We don't need to keep it.
And then
Not on
Yermin.
Yermin. He's been slumping. I think we did have him. We had him.
I think he got on a slump watch at some
and then
point.
he got off. It was like the only weekend he was okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yermin's been down bad since,
Yeah.
as Trev said, since Tony La Russa hyped him up.
It's a little bit the same as Grossman. Like, he just been not hitting for a long time.
A little bit.
Grossman did recently. I think before this series, he had a pretty good stretch.
Dude, Yermin's numbers are bad.
Yeah.
Last 19 games, he's got a 269 OPS.
Mhm.
Like, it's bad, bad, bad.
Woof.
Whoa.
Find it, Yermin.
Bummer.
Not exactly getting a ton of walks.
You want to put Javi on there, or you just want to keep Arenado and Starlin Marte?
I think I'd rather leave Arenado and Marte.
Okay, there you go. The final Slump Watch list is Yandy Diaz, Chris Bryant, Robbie Grossman, Nolan Arenado, and Starlin Marte.
Oh, Ghost Trev.
Wow. Vanished on us.
He's just leaning.
Poking his head
Oh,
out.
whoa.
Wow, there he is.
What's up, guys?
Doobie, doobie,
Dirt
doobie.
Nasty's on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
We had a lot of guys hit a lot of home runs this weekend. I already told you about Schwarber. He had 5 home runs on the weekend. He went 6 for 15. Adam Duvall, the Fish. Who'd they beat up on?
Trev's Adam
The
Duvall.
Cubs, right?
Yeah.
He went 5 for 12 with 4 homers and 10 RBIs. That's a hell of a weekend. 10 RBIs in one weekend, Trev?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
And what if I told
That's
you
good
Adam
for a month.
What if I told
Yeah.
you Adam Duvall was your NL RBI leader?
I'd say cool. The 10 probably helped him right now.
Yeah.
Who's in second place?
Don't know.
Okay.
Eddie Escobar's up there. I know that. Before he got hurt, he was leading the league.
Cedric Mullins, he hit 4 home runs. He went 5 for 13, 4 homers, 6 RBIs. Nice little weekend for him. Shohei Ohtani, He had 4 hits this weekend. All 4 of them were home runs. He also had 4 walks. So he's good. Ryan Mountcastle, we talked about him. 6 for 12, 3 homers. Wilmer Flores, there's a name you just don't hear that much of anymore that I like. 6 for 9, 2 home runs. Crone, 7 for 13 with 2 homers. Jared Wash. Tigers pitching, man. 6 for 17 with 3 homers. And Luis Urias, 7 for 15 with a homer and 2 doubles. So there's your in Fuego list this week.
I have your NL RBI leaders.
Yes, who's in second place and how many?
Duvall has 52. Tied for second with 50 are Fernando Tatis Jr.
Heard of him?
and Duvall's teammate Jesus Aguilar.
So that 10 RBI weekend really helps out.
Adam Duvall, how about being in baseball at the right time? Last year and this year combined, 226 batting average, 281 on base, a 779 OPS. He's on a 44 homer pace for 162 games. So Adam Duvall is just swinging big and letting it ride. Ohtani, I mean, we could talk about Ohtani all episode if we want. I debated giving him my standout. That dude's a freak.
You mean
Why
it?
does he hit the ball so much harder and farther than everybody? I don't
hard.
understand.
Got
dude.
that kangaroo strength.
That would bat.
Yeah, man, you got that good wood. Something.
You like Wilmer Flores' name, or you just like the concept of Wilmer Flores?
I liked that he cried on the field.
Okay.
It's a good memory. I felt for him. It was a good, guys are human moment.
Wilmer Flores, last 205 games,
Yeah.
820 OPS.
Yeah, he's been hitting ever since you went over there.
Well, it started in Arizona, so...
No one cares.
Snake up.
Searching for rings in the desert.
We play for rings in the desert.
All right, let's go to awards. Awards are brought to you by the Chris Rose Rotation. It's on the JOMBOY Media Network. Chris Rose, he has a ton of really good interviews coming up with all-star candidates. I think they're bumping up to 3 episodes a week because so many of these guys want to come chat with Rose because what he does in interviews is so good. If you want to get to know players, there's insights you hear, just little insights I hear each episode, and I'm like, fuck, that's so cool. I'll spoil one for you. Trevor, Rich Hill on the Chris Rose Rotation said that Maddox taught him. He was teaching him about fielding his position as a pitcher. And Maddox said, if you have to take 3 steps on the grass to get the ball, you can go to second. If you have to take 4 steps on the grass before you pick up the ball, you have to go to first base because you took too many steps. And I've never heard an analyst. I've watched a lot of baseball, talked a lot of baseball, heard a lot of people talk. I never heard once that a pitcher may be counting his steps just to have the decisiveness of to know exactly where they're going so you can throw it with conviction. You don't have to listen. Have you ever heard anything like that?
I haven't, but that's awesome because pitchers need everything dumbed down for them like that. No, I'm serious.
No,
they have to focus on their pitching and whatever, But 3 steps, second base, 4 steps or more, first base, that's perfect for pitchers.
Isn't that awesome? So that was just a tiny nugget in an interview on the Chris Rose Rotation with Rich Hill, and things like that just stick with me. And every episode is full of so many of them. So many. He's so good at it. So
Todd Frazier today, he's a pretty well-liked guy, I think.
yeah,
Just
Todd,
the way he talks is awesome.
he's so Jersey. I love Todd. So go check out the Chris Rose Rotation. It's on the JM Baseball YouTube channel, and any podcast app that you use will have it. And there's usually 2 episodes a week. They're going to 3, and it's a rotating cast of MLB players and MLB guests. So go check it out. My award today is the Balance Award.
Ooh.
Life's all about balance, Trev. In the first inning of the Reds-Padres game, Joey Votto absolutely loses his cool after the home. I'm almost done with the breakdown. Joey Votto loses his cool after the home plate umpire talks to him when Votto wasn't talking to the home plate umpire. Votto was talking to the third base umpire, And Votto wasn't saying anything bad. He was just basically saying, like, I didn't swing. That's actually verbatim. He says, I didn't swing on that one. I didn't swing on that one. And then the home plate umpire just yells and says, don't talk to him. And Votto turns and says, don't talk to me. I'm not talking to you. And then they continue that, and Votto goes absolutely crazy. The lip reading is pretty fun. He's just mad at him for saying, like, don't tell me how to play my game. Like, get the fuck out of here. Light switch dude. Absolutely loses his temper. His post-game interview is awesome. But before that, there was a girl there, was a diehard fan. Her name was Abigail, a little girl, and she was like, I came all this way to play my first game and see my favorite player, Votto, and he got ejected in the first inning. So Votto and the social media team or PR team, I don't know, he shouted out the name of the employees that helped on the Reds. Votto did. He's a good guy. They got in touch with the girl. They signed a ball. He said, sorry I didn't get to play the whole game. He signed it for her. They got her tickets the next game. He chatted with her on the front and from the dugout and stuff. Real sweet. And Votto in his post-game presser, he said that it's really funny. He said it was Father's Day. So he's like, it's Father's Day. So I was laying in bed thinking about it. And my mom always said that I have my dad's temper. And my dad, who has passed away, I was wondering if he'd be proud of me today. And you know what? I think he would. So I'm fine with it. He said, I deserve to get kicked out. I said some things, maybe some language I would regret. But other than that, that's who I am. And I was true to myself. And the reporter said, how do you think your dad would feel about, bringing that little girl back to the game and signing? Yeah, he said, that's what it's all about. Like, my dad would be proud of that as well, because that's who I am. Light switch guy. And I was like, that's kind of cool to be able to know it. And life's all about balance. And he gets so mad. He's motherfucking an ump for a long time. He bent down and talked into the ump's walkie-talkie on his ass to, like, tattle on him to New York. And then he makes that little girl's day and is a nice guy. So I always liked Votto. I think a lot of people like Votto for that reason. It's all about balance.
I love it. That's nice, Jim. I love we talked about it a little bit this morning. There's a picture that they took together, the little girl and Joey, and the mom shared it on social media. And you'll never see a bigger smile, like a more genuine smile out of the little girl than that picture. It's like, it's amazing.
I think baseball confirmed a fan for life that day. I think baseball confirmed. Good job, Joey.
Jake?
All right.
Nope.
Trev, your award?
BBD? We don't know if that's Bruce or Michael Buffer. It's one of them.
It's a buffer.
I believe it's Bruce. I know it came up when I searched it
Buffer.
first time.
My award is the It's Time Award. And guess what today is, boys? We had the memo come out warning about this day. Yes, it is the summer solstice, June 21st. But along with that, it's also the day where MLB will start enforcing the sticky baseball rule. I know you guys said you talked about it a little bit on the show when I was gone. 10-day suspension for people who get caught doctoring the baseball. They do get paid, but you do not get to replace their spot on the roster. A couple of notable guys going within the first couple of days. They're saying Jacob deGrom, who's scheduled to pitch tonight, might be the first guy subject to the testing or the screening or whatever they're going to do. I don't think he's been accused of anything like that, so I think he'll be okay. Probably the most notable goes tomorrow for you guys, Yanks, and that's Garrett Cole pitching tomorrow night. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. That's the thing I'm most curious about is how are they going to search these guys? They said when. They're going to be doing it after the inning or after a reliever comes out of the game, whichever comes first. They're going to check their hat, their glove, the ball, all that stuff. With starting pitchers, I'm not sure how they're going to do it. They're going to wait till they're done with is it every inning? Is it when they're done with the game? I'm not sure, but I'm very curious to see how this all plays out. There will be someone suspended. They will say, I didn't do anything. The umpire had it out for me. All I used was the rosin, blah, blah, blah. But things are going to happen. And I just can't remember a time in baseball where we had a rule like this that's going to play such a huge factor for seasons, not just for like this week. Like this is going to go on the entire season. Can you imagine at the end in September, teams in the playoff hunt and your best starter gets suspended for 10 days? You can't even replace the roster spot. He misses 2 starts. I mean, the ramifications of this are going to be felt all throughout baseball and all year long. And it's time. June 21st, 2021. Thank you.
I am excited. There was an interview on MLB TV today that I heard in the background because it was just out in the office, and a guy was saying, like, listen, it's not going to be crazy. We're just making sure they're not using sticky stuff. So I do think they heard the players' pushback on the rosin. We'll just see individual umpires. I think you'll see. I don't think you'll see a lot. I think they came down pretty hard on like the sticky, the Pelican grip and the what's it called? Spider tack. I think they wanted to be as loud as possible without enforcing it, and they were. I mean, the announcement's there, and you saw guys trying it without it. Glasnow admitted it. Cole's spin rate incredibly down, and his pitches just different at last start. So I'm interested. I don't think we're going to see that many suspensions.
DeGrom's pitching.
I don't think so either. They will happen,
today, so he will be the first.
What's that?
DeGrom's pitching the first game of their doubleheader today, and they're the home team, so he will be the first pitcher checked.
This is
So,
me right now
trivia.
with DeGrom. Like, please, like, I don't need that. You're too good. You're a bright spot in the game. Please don't do that to us. He's not going to.
Just covered in sticky stuff.
What if they're just like first inning? See ya.
So I'm interested to see because there's a couple different dynamics here. Because okay, so say it's all quiet on the Western Front and we don't get anyone caught in 2 weeks. That's going to start a whole nother conversation. Like, oh, baseball's not doing anything about this. Do guys start busting out the sticky stuff again? Do they try to scapegoat someone in the first couple weeks so that they know that this will be enforced? Really interested to see how it plays out. And yeah, I mean, whoever the first guy is, that's going to be a name in baseball history. So, so interested to see how this plays out. And I bet we get some light moments from it. I mean, are umpires going to be going full TSA on pitchers? That's going to be a sight to see.
I think so.
It's wild.
I think it's the crew chief has to do it too. No, not the home plate umpire, but the crew chief of every home plate or.
We gotta wait for Joe West to wobble to the pitching mound and back for every pitcher. The speed of play there, fastest ump should do it.
It's gonna be interesting.
Are we going to have to get 10-15 with Dale Scott? I don't know.
Oh, we need it. We need it.
Jake, do you have an award?
I do have an award. I have the sequel award. James, I think it's even come up on here. Maybe recently we talked about sequels, and it's usually a bad idea. Usually does not go well. There's a couple good sequels out here. I think you usually reference Mighty Ducks. I think Godfather gets brought up when you start talking sequels. Obviously,
Major League sequel isn't bad. The second Major League isn't bad.
Tolkien Baseball. I mean, you got some sequels.
Well, it's not a
going
sequel.
there. It's a story.
Yeah.
Guys, there's a sequel going on in baseball right now, and you guys have been dancing all over it. A lot of Kyle Schwarbo this episode. The Nats had a big week. I wrote the Nats also it's dead because I've been excited for them for a couple years, and they gave nothing. They are currently without Scherzer. They're currently without Strasburg. And they got a little juice going. Soto hasn't fully been Soto this year. He's still been very good, but he hasn't been world-beating Juan Soto. They busted something out this weekend. Jim, someone mentioned it in the chat, and I saw it before we came in here. Gerardo Parra came back to the Nationals this weekend. Baby Shark played throughout the stadium. They're going for the sequel right now. Slow start. Schwarbo's getting it going. They're getting a couple guys are giving them enough on the pitching side of the ball. I think Fetty's kind of putting together a nice little season right now. And once you bust out the baby shark, you're back trying to do the sequel. So I'm still not excited for the sequel. I wrote off these Nationals, but like you said, Trev, they're currently tied for second in the NL East. If they can string together some wins, if they can get above that 500 meter, the Nats are going to be in play. And it's not like they're a cheap team. They still got money on the books. So I told myself I wasn't getting sucked in to the Nationals again. Here I am waiting to be sucked. And let's see what the Nationals do up until the All-Star break. I'm not betting on them. They're rolling out a sequel. I'm going to watch it. I'm not expecting it to be good. But once you start baby sharking, let's see it, Nats.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it, Jake. I do not hate it. Confirm Brian Dozier to the Nats? Is that what we're doing?
Is
we're
that
running
what
it
just
back?
happened?
Back to the Future is a pretty good sequel.
It's a good one.
Toy
What's
Story.
Scherzer doing? Tell me what's going on with him, and then I'll let you know if they're back or not.
They won. The Nats won, so it's okay.
Scherzer set off to come IL Tuesday in Philly.
You're riding a real thin line, bringing Baby Shark back.
Right?
Like a really dangerous line because it can get. It's kind of desperate already. It can, but if it's desperate and it works, that's amazing. Like if this just fizzles out, if
Right, becomes
Gerardo
sad.
Parra's not good, and then he stops playing, and then maybe like he gets released or something, and then like the song leaves, like then we're like, well, that's something. Sometimes things are good for one season, and there's a reason why.
You move on.
And like
Do they keep it all the same, or do they switch it up? Like, is he going to be wearing the tinted sunglasses, or are those out? Like, we
It's
need to know.
nervous
Is Brian
times for me.
Dozier
It's scary.
Dozier with the comma? Like, is he going to do a different song this year? Is he going to keep the shirt on? I don't know.
It's like Jimmy said, you're walking a dangerous line. I will say this. I mentioned I'm not excited for the sequel. We forget how cool some of these dudes are. So Scherzer, supposed to come back Tuesday. He threw out bullpen in between their Saturday doubleheader. And what he told reporters was, 40-pitch bullpen, all good. See you Tuesday.
Yes. You know that video of him throwing his
man.
bullpen and going like every pitch? Like, that guy's he's crazy.
Trev, can you drop some baseball talk every now on us? Just like say a sentence that sounds foreign to non-baseball people. Booney, Aaron Boone had a real good one after the triple play. Chapman couldn't throw a strike to save his life. He walked the first two guys, and they had to do a mound visit and all that. And they asked Booney what he said, and he said, "I said, throw the turbo sinker, get the 3-ball, let's have it."
Yeah. The 3-ball, that's a tough one. That
And
doesn't
like-
come out too
like,
often.
yeah, like
For them, it does.
yo, turbo sinker for the 3-ball, and let's have at it. Is just like it's such a good baseball sentence. So
Okay,
maybe
I'll make that a segment.
yeah, maybe we do
Yeah.
like a Friday baseball sentence, and you hit us one. You know,
I like that.
like you could read a box score and you probably say it in baseball terms, punchies, all that those terminologies.
Bushes and punchies. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, best friend of the week.
Before I give the best friend of the week, I want to give a quick shout out to a guy who somehow slipped through the cracks for standout performance and awards. Cedric Mullins. He had the 2 multi-homer games, and one of them was on Cedric Mullins' shirt day, which kind of I think it strikes a
Oh,
few
that's
chords
badass.
with us.
Big Orioles pod.
He has a
So-
shirt day.
That's how you get fans of the game too. Cedric Mullins Shirts Day hits a couple yackers. Let's go.
So I wanted to make sure we all acknowledge that happened. 'Cause I think
Mullins and
that's on brand
Mountcastle,
for us.
the M&M boys.
And the best
go.
friend of the week is Walker Buehler.
Wow.
7.1, no-hitter into the 8th inning, 2 earned, 11 Ks, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 hit by pitch.
Moxie fucking king.
Yeah, he's the man.
Walker Buehler.
Having a casual season.
Elevator talk.
Hey, are the Dodgers just gonna run away with everything? Like, we're all just gonna be like, oh yeah, the Dodgers are good.
Well, I don't know because the elevator wheel just landed on San Francisco Giants, Trev. So if you get into an elevator with a Giants fan, maybe don't ask him what Trev just asked. That's
Yeah.
rude. You can say something like, Dodgers are getting close, game and a half back. Like, what do you think? You know, you can.
Buster Posey, Hall of Famer already.
Best record in
We're doing
baseball?
it.
Is that good? That's how I'd start.
How'd they hit all those long balls? I thought the AT&T Park was a pitcher's park. I would say.
Kevin Gossman
107.
is an ace.
Weren't dumb to give Gossman that money, huh? You say that.
Say that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
JOMBOY likes Wilmer Flores. Did you hear that?
Evan Longoria collided with Crawford. They wanted to make love on the baseball field, but it didn't work out. And now he hurt his shoulder. You could say that too.
They've been searching for a leadoff guy. They had Yaz there for a little bit. They tried Talkman for a little when he came over, LaStella, and it looks like lately it's been Lamont Wade. So I don't know if he's working out, if they like him in the leadoff spot, but they're searching for a leadoff hitter. He has been hitting, so maybe that's a little conversation. Like, you like Wade in the leadoff spot?
Schwarber. They got something gross going on in the back end of their bullpen.
Oh, he's been hitting good in the leadoff spot. So there you go. Lamont Wade likes leading off. He's got an 859 OPS and a 351 on base percentage when leading off and when batting first, and they just kind of started that last couple weeks. So boom. My elevator talk's over. Yours, Jake?
There are two guys getting saves. Jake McGee, who comes from a gross lefty arm slot, and Tyler Rogers, who comes from a disgusting righty arm slot. So I kind of love that.
You say Jake is a dog's name. Jake McGee is two dogs' name combined.
That's true.
It's a hard that's true from Trev. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to go fight off this Benadryl. I mean, I chugged a Monster before the show. Jake sucks.
We love you, Cole Tucker. Freaking love you, man.
Love you, Kotak.